So I'm gonna try some backwards engineering here.
It works.
Well, hey folks, welcome back. It's time to start this F250 project. So we're gonna go over what I'm gonna try to do today, and let's get under the hood and see what's going on. All right, under the hood, we got this 352, just shy of a 360 basically. I tried to turn it over with the fan. It's stuck. I do not believe it's seized up, but it's definitely stuck. So before I make any attempts to crank it over, I'm going to pull the spark plugs out and put some diesel fuel into every single spark plug hole and let that soak for, you know, a couple hours, maybe 3, and then I'll put a big wrench on the front of the crank and see if we can't start turning it over. And I want to slowly turn it over like that until everything gets lubed up really good and freed up before I make any attempts to turn it over with a starter. Okay, so I'm going to get that started, and then the next project will be removing the fuel tank. Excuse me. So I'll get the fuel tank out. It's pretty gross in there. You're going to see once I get the access plate off. Sending unit, take it out, you can take a look inside. So essentially what I want to do is I want to make sure my fuel system is completely clean and clear. Since this is going to be a daily driver, I don't want it to be a junker. So since I have to do the fuel tank, I'm just going to go ahead and fix all of that stuff. So clean the fuel tank out, run some new fuel lines. I think the hard lines are still fine. I might just blow some air through them. Fuel filters, fuel pump, brand new carburetor, and that way everything should be just perfect before I go to start it up. That way I'm not trying to start it up off of a 5-gallon jug. So let's get started on these spark plugs and get them all out. Up out of the way. Won't be needing those for a while. Oh, I got one that has to be tight, doesn't it? Oh, boy. I ended up breaking that one off. That's all right. This is not the way you should do spark plugs, but oh, that thing really is in there. A little panther piss on it. Let it soak for a little while. Man, I hate how that PU blaster stinks. Works good though. Wonder how old these things are. They're Champions. And they're dry. They're just got a little build up on them, but nothing. Pretty clean. Except one stuck. Let's see how well this other side does. That's gonna require a new wire. Wasn't planning on getting new wires until I'd made sure it run, but I guess I'll check my stash. I might have an extra one lying around. Actually, that one still worked. I didn't break off the important part, did I? Yeah, I can still use that. I'm gonna go straight with the rattle gun this time. I'm not gonna. It's breaking them because I'm using a rattle gun. As long as I don't get porcelain down the hole, we're good. I'll make sure yeah, when these things go back together, I gotta make sure them threads are oiled up really good, nice and clean. Yeah, this heat shield thingy, that preheater is going away. Okay, I got a funnel here. Get that down the spark plug hole. And I got some diesel fuel here in this smart bottle water. It cost me 80 cents. Now we're not going to put a lot in here. We're just going to put a little dribble into each hole. Okay. Don't take much. Alright, I'll go ahead and get the other side. Alright, we're here back behind the seat. Let's take a look at what we're looking at. There's a fuel tank. I already got one fastener off over there so I don't have to run around. There's two more fasteners here. They're just 1/2 inch. And you got your filler neck over here that comes up here. Now I ordered a new rubber grommet and a new piece of fuel line here with some new clamps. So it doesn't matter if I destroy that taking off, and I probably will end up destroying it. It's probably hard as a rock and shrunk on there. It's not going to come off unless I cut it. So there's a couple of speaker wires here that won't be going back in. Just get those out of here right now. Good. Looks like he ran it, whoever it was ran it underneath the carpet there. It's not going back in. So we got a wire for our sending unit, and it's original because it's orange. Alright, so we'll take that off the clip. And that goes up to the A-pillar, it looks like. We'll just see, it goes right up there. We'll just tuck it back here for right now. Out of the way. And here's your grounding wire. That's pretty much all it needs right there. Okay, I need to get a wrench and I can need to get this off. I wonder how far that goes into the tank. I've never had one of these in-cab tanks out before. So, let me go grab a wrench. Alright, 1/2-inch wrench is what it takes. Well, that wasn't very tight. I don't know how this works. I don't know if that tube goes all the way to the bottom of the tank or it's screwing into another tube. Goes into another pickup tube. Well, I hope that's in good shape. I could see the tube going down. I just didn't know if it was one piece or two. And on the inside, it looks pretty rusty. It's too bright outside right now. I'll show you guys. All right, so I just took it off this clip. So now it's just kind of hanging out here. Let's get these mounting bolts off. There's only 3 of them. Some of the later model trucks, they have mounting bolts on the bottom as well. This one just rests in these little cradles. Okay, I'm gonna put these in my Ziploc here so I don't forget where stuff goes. Nut driver. These right here is what needs to come out next. I'm just gonna spin these all the way out. That way they are all the way out of the way. I already know this sucker's not hurting no way. Yep, I'm just gonna get the knife and I'm gonna cut it off. Hang on. Alright. Can I do this without cutting myself? Maybe. What a lovely smell of old gas. Yeah, see the, I don't know if you can see it, but the inside's all cracked. It's certainly original. Nice and old. Okay, is this gas tank loose now? Fuel tank. I guess the fuel line will go like that. Let me figure out how I'm going to get out of here. It's probably going to go that way. That way I'm not fighting this fuel line and I'm not damaging it. So let me get situated here. Okay, I got it busted free. And the original paint of this in the back is pebble beige according to the paint code. And there's a lot of really nice original paint back there. So let's reveal it. A couple gallons in there. Yeah. Okay. There's some rubber it sits on, I guess. And it slides down into these. I'm gonna have to clean the rest out of those. That's not making me too happy. Extra tubing. And it looked like on the back of the tank there was some, oh, it looked like cork looking foam rubber stuff that was on strips there. So I'm gonna have to make sure I put it back in such a way it's padded that way too. Well, I'm back here. Let's inspect for Bondo in places where these things typically rust out. I'll show you. Okay, these corners right here are notorious for rusting out. If there's been any body work, we're going to see it on the inside. And I don't see any. I see trash. Piece of wooden dowel. There's some wasp nests, some mud dauber wasp nests. I got some original paint and primer peeling off a little bit in here. Small touch of rust right there, but nothing crazy. Very nice. Let's go look at the other side. Yeah, look at that. It's just peeling paint back there. There is no rust. Quite nice. Okay, that makes me pretty happy. Looks like it just needs a vacuum cleaner and a power washer. Good thing I got both of those items. Alright, let me get this thing set up where I can give you a look inside. I'm going to pull that sending unit off and get started. Alright, let's get this sending unit out of here. I'm going to drop these screws. See how gross it is in here. following that. Gotcha. Okay. It's pretty nasty. Let me see if I can't get a light set up to where you guys can see down in the hole. So right now you can see a little bit. Hang on. Alright. Oh. I think a power washer is going to take care of that. Alright. There's the fuel pickup tube. Well, from what I can see so far, it looks like mostly junk. Doesn't look like rust. Okay, I'm gonna get this thing all. Find this bucket. I'm gonna empty that bucket out. I'm gonna dump the fuel out and kind of put the camera to the side so I can actually get my eyeball up in that hole and take a really good look with a much brighter light and see what I'm dealing with. And I think probably just gonna put the power washer I bought for this task and a few other tasks as well, put that together and start blasting it out. Right now my plan is if there's really minimal rust in there, hardly any at all, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to get the tank clean. But if there's enough rust that I should be worried, I think I'm going to use the electrolysis method. I've seen a bunch of different methods of how to do it online. There's muriatic acid and baking soda, there's vinegar and baking soda, and then there's the good old trick that I used on my tractor a 3 years ago where I just put a whole bunch of nuts and bolts in there and I mounted it to the rear tire of one of my other tractors, and I jacked that side up and I just popped it in first gear and just let it idle and spin with the fuel tank strapped to the tire, and it did a pretty good job. But this tank's a little big for that, even though it is an option. I don't know. I think I'd rather go the simpler route with electrolysis if that's going to be required. But let me dispose of the fuel and take a little closer look at it and bring you guys back. Pretty nasty. Pretty nasty. Oh boy. That's going in the waste barrel. Okay, on further inspection, it looks like I might just get away with just power washing the inside of this thing out. Just maybe. I got one of those turbo nozzles, and that should help get into some of the hard to reach areas in there. I can always bend the wand on the what do you call it, the pressure washer, so I can like go around corners if I need to get the top of the tank, because I can only go through the filler neck and the sending unit hole. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all set up for that. I gotta unbox my pressure washer and get it all put together, and all that's left in the tank now is just that varnish sludge. There's no more fuel in there, so go in the backyard, start blasting. All right, I got a light bulb here. I'm gonna put it up here. Let's see if we can get a really good before shot of what this tank looks like inside before I go clean it. That's pretty much what it looks like right now. It's really nice that underneath some of that gunk that's been disturbed at the bottom, I can see clean metal. Okay, let's go clean it. Okay, let's get started. I'll try to remember to play some music during this part so you don't have to listen to the power washer. But let's get cleaning.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying out its prayer. Why are we so ashamed to be alive? Break the chains and our freedom's ours to take. Look behind your back. Chase a light when the world is getting darker. I have a dream where love's the only side. So take my hand, join the army of the shadows. Going harder, we are more than numbers. Standing in this hate. Going louder, we are all one color. Standing in their way. Join the army of the shadow. Join the army of the shadow. Join the army of the shadows. Shadows, shadows. Join the army of the shadows. Join the army of the shadows. Going harder, we are more than numbers. Standing in their shade. Going louder, we are all one color. Standing in their way. Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying out its prayer. Why are we so ashamed to be alive? Break the chains and our freedom's ours to take. Going harder, we are more than numbers. Standing in this hate. Going louder, we are all one color. Standing in their way. Don't look behind your back. Chase a light when the world is getting darker. I have a dream where love's the only side. So take my hand, join the army of the shadows. Going harder, we are more than numbers, standing in the shade. Going louder, we are all one color, standing in the way. Join the army of the shadow. Join the army of the shadow. Join the army of the shadows, shadows, shadows. Join the army of the shadows. Join the army of the shadows. Going harder, we are more than numbers, standing in the shade. Going louder, we are all one color, standing in the way. Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying out its prayer. Why are we so ashamed to be alive? Break the chains and our freedom's ours to take. Going harder, we are more than numbers, standing in the shade. Going louder, we are all one color, standing in the way. Don't look behind your back. Chase a light when the world is getting darker. I have a dream where love's the only side. So take my hand, join the army of the shadows. Going harder, we are more than numbers, standing in the shade. Going louder, we are all one color, standing in the way. Join the army of the shadow. Join the army of the shadow. Join the army of the shadows, shadows, shadows. Join the army of the shadows. Join the army of the shadows. Going.
All right, it's doing a really good job. It's just going to take a while, and at some point I'm gonna have to take that wand and I'm gonna have to bend it so I can get back into the upper corners. So I'm gonna turn the camera off and I'll bring it back when it's ready for inspection. All right, we're getting down to the last couple things I'm doing today. I'm ready to try hand turn this engine over. So I got it set up. I got rags over all the spark plug holes so I don't splash diesel fuel all over the inner fenders. And I got a socket down there with a breaker bar and a ratchet, and we're gonna see if we can't get this thing to turn over. Alright, let's see what happens. It's turning. Boy, that belt rubs right on that hose. Okay, let me switch out to a ratchet. It's moving. Let's see if I can get this thing to go around a couple times. Pulley up there is making a bunch of racket. Yeah, because it's not turning. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that. Next thing to do is bump it over with the starter. I don't know if I'm going to do that tonight. I am going to show you the inside of the clean fuel tank though real quick. It's looking pretty fantastic. So let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. Alright, let's take a look. That light's a little bit yellowish, but I got that sucker pretty stinking clean. There's a couple spots in there of surface rust, but I got all the crud out, and that's what's really important. This is not going to be a trailer queen, so it's not going to sit around with just fuel sitting in all the time. I'll be topping that tank off every 4 or 5 days because I'll be daily driving it, so it should be fine. I'm going to definitely double up on fuel filters for probably a few months to make sure everything gets worked out and I don't have anything getting in the carburetor and clogging things up. So, well, I'm gonna go take a look and see what I can do to turn this thing over with the starter. See if I can get one more step knocked out today. Let me get set up and I'll bring you guys back. Alright, I got it hooked up, and there's no key, so the ignition's off, so it won't start. It'll just crank over. So we'll give her a whirl. And the fuel pump works. Fantastic. And you know what? I screwed up. I better get these bags out of here before intake sucks them all the way in. We'll just put this here. Let that catch whatever little fuel's left in the fuel line. Crank it over a few times and see how it goes. I wonder if it's sucking fuel out of that secondary tank. Alright, I'm gonna disconnect. I'm gonna stop messing around with this for tonight. That fuel smells nasty. Yeah, so yes, secondary tank. Yeah, it's got a homemade jobber in there right here, and it's just somebody welded this together and put it in here. It does have a drain plug though, so I can drain it out. And right up underneath here somewhere is, yeah, right there, that's where the electric valve switch thingy is for switching tanks. Okay, we got some success here today. That's pretty much going to do it, and we'll pick up tomorrow once the tank is nice and dry. I'll get that tucked back in there, and I'll pretty much be in a waiting game for parts. I'll find something to do though. I'm just waiting for that FedEx truck to show up. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you're gonna enjoy. I hope you guys enjoy this type of content I'm doing now. This project's gonna go for a while. There's gonna be a lot of episodes. So if you like it, drop a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys next time.